The Cinematic Shuffle has shuffled once again. Last week I gave you 3 hints as to what I'd be reviewing today, which were that it came out in 2008, that it's a United Kingdom film, and that it was set somewhere in the continent of Asia. And one of you guys got it right away. Mr. Sticky005 said the movie in question is Slumdog Millionaire. And you're right, that is the second time my riddles have failed to surprise you guys. The first time Jacob Martin guessed that I'd be reviewing Twilight, so there you go. But Mr. Sticky, he's right this time. So, like I said, I pinned the comment. But yes, Slumdog Millionaire, man. You know, this was another film that I haven't seen since the first time that I saw it, obviously, 10 years ago. So I forgot a lot about the plot. So yeah, let's get cracking. Slumdog Millionaire focuses deep in Jamal's poverty-stricken life as a slumdog in India, who just happens to get a lot of questions right on the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which immediately puts him under suspicion as a cheater because nobody born in the slums should ever be able to have intelligence because most of them lie, right? So he explains how he got each question right, one at a time, through flashbacks of his own life story. Now, before I go on with my review of Slumdog Millionaire, I want to first give you guys 3 more hints as to what I will be reviewing next week for the Cinematic Shuffle. The first hint is that it's a paranormal comedy. The second, it came out in the late 80s / early 90s, and the main character's name is Elliot. Guess away. And if you get it right, once again, I'll pin the comment. So on to my review of Slumdog Millionaire. So yeah, without question, this is a solid film. In the 2009 Academy Awards, it won for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Score, Best Original Song, Best Sound Mixing, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing. That is a huge assortment of awards, and honestly, watching back, I have to agree with most of them. Though, you know, I would probably prefer The Dark Knight for Best Picture, but I get it. Sequels, superhero movie, all that. But Slumdog Millionaire was still very much deserving of those awards that it got. This is an extremely well-made film all around, with not only a fantastic assortment of performances and cinematography, but also one of the best mix of feelings that you get from watching a movie in general. I mean, it's an incredibly dark movie covering the life of the truly unfortunate. Child human trafficking plays a pretty big part of the movie, for instance, and yet, it's also very uplifting at the same time because the abstract concept of love, as simple as it is what fuels this character. He's not on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to be a millionaire. He's on it because of love. And he's not cheating, which he was accused of doing. His life was just filled to the brim with rich history and first-hand experiences, and because a lot of that happened in traumatic moments of his life, it was just really hard for him to forget the answers to those questions, and maybe it was just fate asking him those questions all along, not some TV host. Now, with that being said, I do question the logic of how the questions are asked and answered because, you know, I can believe that a kid has all these answers based off of his own, life experiences. That makes sense. What I have trouble believing, on the other hand, is that the questions that he was asked were all asked in sequential order of his life. There's quite a few questions, and we see him grow up throughout the movie thanks to the flashbacks. And every single question, every one, correlates to something that he experienced in life in chronological order. Like, for instance, questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would get the answers from when he was like 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I don't know the exact ages, mind you. I just know in general, that's how it worked. In reality, it should be more random. Like, okay, I remember this answer because when I was 20, this happened. Or, I remember when I was 17, this came up. And, oh, yeah, that, when I was 19, this happened. But I get it. It doesn't really work that well from a film editing standpoint, and it did win for Best Editing at the Oscars, because editing was indeed a huge part for the storytelling, and it deserved that award. But logically, I just don't get how realistic it is for each question's answers to be learned in chronological order. Honestly though, that is my only complaint, if you can call it that. This film is just extremely well done overall. Like I said, the feelings that you get while watching it range from incredibly tense to happy to sad to romantic and back to tense again. It is a roller coaster ride, and heck, it also serves as an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in general and how tense it was just to watch that stinking show. Do you guys remember watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Philbin? How tense that was, how pulled into the TV that you got. That was one of the most engaging game shows that I think I ever saw. If nothing else though, this film stands out as truly original and different, featuring a range of characters that you love and love to hate at the same time. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out if you can. Currently though, it is available to watch if you have a subscription to HBO Max. I don't know how long that'll be the case, so jump on it. Let's take a look at my final score for a second, which I scored Slumdog Millionaire an A-letter grade, final overall score of 94%. 94 out of 100 possible stars, which isn't perfect, mind you, but it's darn close. Now, have you guys seen this movie? If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Do you think that it deserved its Best Picture nominee, or any of the other nominees that it got during that Academy Awards session? Let me know, and as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.